Friday night in Athens as 10,000 fans pack inside Stegman Coliseum to officially kick off a new era of Georgia gymnastics. The number 15 Gym Dogs get ready to take on the Boise State Broncos here in the Classic City. What an atmosphere tonight, including gymnastics royalty in the house, the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles, to take in her former coach, making her debut as the head coach here in Athens, Georgia. And we welcome you inside Stegman Coliseum, everyone. I'm Kevin Kopp, thrilled to be here alongside Georgia All-American Sarah Sailors. Sarah, you can feel the intensity, the enthusiasm, the passion in this building, and also we've got a big gymnastics meet tonight as number 15 Georgia gets set to take on Boise State. A lot of excitement.
The energy in this place is incredible. Together we are is the theme for this new era of Gym Dogs, setting out to do something that they haven't done in several years. The co-head coaches want to work together to restore this program to its storied history.
Well, you can feel this crowd trying to will them there, but let's talk about the coaches. That is the story, beginning with Cecile Cancuto-Landy, coming here with a decorated background at both the club and Olympic levels, making her NCAA coaching debut.
Some would say that she has reached the pinnacle of coaching in this sport, but she feels like she has so much more to do at the collegiate level, and Georgia just felt like the right place, the right time, and she could not be happier to be here and to continue her career in Athens.
And along with Coach Cancuto-Landy, we have Ryan Roberts, who is in his first season as co-head coach, but has spent the last 2 years here as an assistant, known as a terrific recruiter. He helped bring in the #1 ranked recruiting class in 2023, experience at the University of Alabama, now elevated to co-head coach.
He is the familiar face in the gym for these athletes, and he gives the girls so much confidence. They all praise him for that, and he's just excited to see this team get started.
And Boise State coming in here and trying to play spoiler in front of this Athens crowd. They've got some terrific gymnasts in their own right. They are the defending Mountain West national champions, the inaugural Mountain West champions, and Emily Lopez is the reigning gymnast of the year in the conference.
I mean, she is just incredible. We're excited to see some really big gymnastics from her tonight. This Boise State team has so much experience. They're really leaning on their senior class and that experience that they have under their belt to carry them through this competition.
This will be a great test for Boise State. They opened on the road in Seattle last week. Georgia was in Denver, but you come here in front of this environment, 10,000 fans. They've got a veteran head coach trying to steward them to another conference title and another run in the NCAA regionals this season. As we remind you, since this is the first meet of the year here in Athens, the dual meet format as Georgia and Boise State go head-to-head. 6 gymnasts per team will compete on each event. We'll count the best 5 and drop the lowest score. The team with the highest cumulative score wins. Georgia will go in home order or Olympic order. That's vault, bars, beam, and floor. Boise State will flip with Georgia on the first 2. They'll start on bars, go to vault, floor, and then finish on the balance beam. And so Georgia gets the night started on vault, and it will be Shenge Boschkai to get the evening underway here at Stegman Coliseum.
She's leading off with a big Yurchenko 1.5. Tried to hold on to that stick, just a small step forward, but what a great way for this Gym Dog team to start, coming out with a few more 10.0 start value vaults this season. That's something that they've improved upon since last season. Let's look at her entry onto the table. A little bit of legs in the air. They'll take some for form, so close to getting that landing, but what a way to open up her career in Stegman Coliseum.
Nebraska transfer got her Georgia career started last week on the road, but competes her first home vault here, and you can see the vault lineup for Georgia, the bars lineup for Boise State on the right side of your screen, and Boise State will get the night underway on bars with sophomore Malia Werlein.
This is a bar group that is really comfortable on this event. They have beautiful gymnastics. You want to look at how they flow through their routines, really looking for swing. And of course, in college gymnastics, the name of the game is handstands and landings. Want to be within 10 degrees of that handstand on top of the bar. Double tuck, able to start her team off with a stick. Great job.
We can exhale just a bit, both teams with one routine out of the way, and we'll get another look here at the bars work for Werlein.
Beautiful stalder work, straight into that double tuck. And she said, I am not moving today.
Up second for Georgia on vault after Boschkai opened with that Yurchenko 1.5. This will be Nia Howard. Yurchenko layout full, so starting from a 9.95 start value instead of that 10.0 that Georgia had in the opening vault.
The Key for her is controlling her power. She has so much of it. Watch the block off the table. Hop back on the landing, but a nice clean vault. Something they'll be happy to have under their belts.
Yeah, talking about control, certainly looked in control here.
Really squeezing tight, trying to just keep every tenth in their pocket that they possibly can.
Up second for Boise State on the uneven bars will be Carly Buell. Following the opening routine and hoping for another stuck landing, an exclamation point as Werlein was able to put on her opening routine. Just a moment to wait as the judges will give us their scores on the opening bars routine for Werlein.
Those sticks are fun and they can be contagious. As we say in gymnastics, one stick can lead to many, just as one fall can start to unravel things for a team. But great way to start off this bars rotation. And I love what Coach Bird said about this team. She said that in all her years of coaching, and this is her 18th season at the helm of Boise State Gymnastics, she said the last few months have been the most fun that she has ever had. And I just can't think of a better compliment for a team, just a testament to their chemistry and how hard they worked in the preseason. And it's going to be awesome to see how that translates onto the competition floor.
Well, you can look at the lineup construction for Boise State and the roster construction. They've got a really good mix. They've got some veteran presences. We've talked about Emily Lopez, who's in her 5th year. They've got some senior leadership on this team. Elena McGovern, a senior who has been a big contributor. You have Emma Loyam, a senior who was a multiple-time Mountain West champion last year. And then you've got some really promising underclassmen as well. We're going to see some freshmen and some sophomores as the judges get together here. We had a 10.5 split between the two judges, a 9-9 from one judge and a 9-7-5 from the other judge on that opening routine from Werlein. So they'll get together and confer here, and we'll see if we get a correction up or down in either direction. So just a little bit of an extra weight for Buell. And while we have a moment, Sarah, I know you talked about this a little bit, but give us some points of emphasis and what the judges are looking for as we move forward.
Judges first and foremost want to see handstands right on top of the bar within 10 degrees. Able to really lock the handstand out in a tight position. Releases, we're looking for big amplitude on the releases, and of course bar transitions, as well as the dismount. You want to fly high and nail that landing, keep that position, hold it. Give the judges no doubt. That's a new deduction that they can take if you don't hold that landing position for at least a couple of seconds.
So Buell, after the long wait, ready to get underway as she begins her bars routine up second for Boise State.
She starts her routine with release moves in combination. A little loose on that overshoot to handstand. You want to see that back stay tight. Another short handstand. Let's see if she can get the stick. Gorgeous double layout, just the tiniest little hop forward. But once again, just a hit routine, something that they can start to really build on. Let's take another look at the start of her routine, opening up with that combination toe on to chapash, straight back down. Double layout to finish, and just the tiniest little hop forward.
Up third down for Georgia on vault after a 9-8 from Boschka and a 9-7-5 for Nia Howard. This is Jeffrey Scott.
Once again, Jeffrey is just going to do a Yurchenko full, but watch the power. Huge amplitude in the air. I don't think she needed to slide that foot back, but what a gorgeous vault. Really great to see her in this vault lineup. She had a wonderful showing last week. 9.875 on her vault. That was a career best. Let's take another look. The block off the table, stretch position in the air, just a small foot shuffle. She wanted to hold on to that so bad. You saw the little eye roll. She wanted it.
Well, and Sarah, exactly what you said. Because of that change in the code a couple of seasons ago, now really having to hold that position, that's one that you would have had, and then just kind of step into the salute, the college stick, as it was informally known. Now that you've got to hold it, there's nowhere to hide in that little shuffle. We'll get a small deduction, but I thought a very good Yurchenko full from Jeffrey Scott.
I agree. Really wonderful. Long gone are the days of the college stick. There's no more finessing that landing, something that I think people got a little bit too good at. That's why they had to do the rule change.
And again, 9-8 9.75 last week, a career high on vault, but that's coming from that 9.95 start, so less than a tenth of deduction between those two judges last week out in Denver as Georgia opened as part of a quad meet. Just a shade below a 196 team score. Boise State opened just above a 195 team score in their first meet. Both teams looking to improve here as Georgia comes home for the first time. Noelle Ball, another freshman on this Boise State roster. We'll see two in the bars lineup along with Christina Shinikova on fifth. Here is Noelle Ball.
Noelle works with such beautiful lines. You can really see the extension. Hair over on that half turn, that will be a deduction. Again, looking for those handstands. Full in dismount, hop back. I mean, you have to praise the freshman for getting out in front of such a rowdy crowd to open up her career on this event. And you want to see that body position in the air, maybe get a little bit tighter tuck so that she can really drop down and find that landing, but what a great showing for her.
Back over to Georgia on vault. Now another 10-0 start value here. Yurchenko 1.5 from the graduate transfer, Anaya Smith. She has gone 9.95 in her career at Arizona State, and here to bring the veteran presence to the Georgia Gym Dogs roster.
Just a little shy on that landing, maybe holding back a bit. Normally that vault is just super powerful from her. Sometimes if you're trying to go for that stick, you under-rotate. The judges would rather see you over-rotate. She's flirting with that out-of-bounds line as well.
You see the score come in for Jeffrey Scott, a 9-8. Both teams struggling to build on, I thought, really good opening routines. That first vault from Boschkaya, that first bars routine from Warline. Mueller and Ball haven't quite got back in that range. We'll see what the scores are for Ball. And now Victoria Smirnov is trying to bounce back after a difficult first bars routine of the season. Countered a fall last week out in Seattle, and now trying to bounce back here in Athens in week 2.
I always say it's kind of a blessing in disguise when you have those early mistakes early in the season, because it just teaches you how to be resilient and can teach you a lot about yourself, a lot about your gymnastics. So great opportunity for her here to get back out and see how she can improve. Shapash to pack salto. Check this out. She has a really cool dismount where she does an inverted giant to the double front. Sizable hop on the landing, but really cool that she goes for that unique difficulty with the inverted giant. That's a lot of shoulder flexibility.
Yes.
Take another look here. You can see how her hands are turned inward on the bar and she goes straight into the double front.
As Sarah can attest, much harder than she made it look there.
Everything that you see tonight is much harder than you think
It's a good blanket rule. Nyla Aquino, speaking of freshmen, she gets to make her Stegman Coliseum debut here on the vault, and an unusual vault here with the Super Full.
Such a cool entry, something you don't see a ton. I have seen her nail that vault so many times. Just getting out those jitters. Her first performance in Stegman Coliseum, has to take that hop back, but really fun to see a unique vault like that in this Georgia lineup. Check it out, round off onto the horse, and she really stretches the body out, almost flares it at the end. That is not easy to do.
Yeah, it's really pretty. To be able to get that block off the table with the Suk entry instead of the Yurchenko, that's a real weapon there for Georgia. As you talked about upgrading the difficulty in those vaults, 4 10-0 starts for Georgia. And now another freshman as the theme continues here of underclassmen in our first rotation, Christina Shinikova, up 5th on the bar. She had a 9.775 last week in her collegiate debut.
Christina has a very unique look on the bar. As you can see, she's taller, has really long, beautiful lines. Gorgeous toe point. Huge Jaeger. bar work almost looks poetic as she sets up just the dismount left. Double tuck. Finds that stick. There we go, getting back on track. I love how this Boise State team, they talk about breaking Bronco records. So that doesn't mean just in the scorebook, but they try to compete with themselves every week. How many sticks can we get? How many handstands can we hit? It's a great way to kind of keep tabs and get better every week. Beautiful dismount from her.
And terrific routine for the freshman. She looked like a multi-year veteran there, and you can see now that we have 4 scores in for each team. The score shaded in the lighter gray is the score that would be dropped. Again, we're going to count 5 scores, drop the lowest, so those are the lowest at the moment.
Addie Wall capping us off with Yurchenko 1.5. So much power once again, has to take that slide forward, but like we said, the judges would much rather see an over-rotated vault as opposed to an under-rotated. That is something that I'm sure she will improve on as the season goes on. She's another one that can really find that stick.
You mentioned the judges would rather see it. I think coaches would rather see it right now because you're only in the 3rd week of the season, 2nd meet for both of these teams. Time to refine the landings as the season goes on, but you want to see at this point in the season where we are in mid-January, big gymnastics. If you're going to err on a side, that's the side you want to err on.
Absolutely. There's a lot of endurance that comes with an NCAA gymnastics season. Many months till gymnastics to come, and these athletes are competing week in, week out. So having too much power, that's what you want to see.
As we wait for Emily Lopez, the 5th year, to anchor Boise State on bars, a look at the season outlook. They were picked #1 in the conference once again in the Mountain West, hoping to defend their title. We talked about that trifecta of Lopez, Loyam, and McGovern, the upperclassmen, hoping to lead them back there to another Mountain West title and a deeper run in NCAA regionals this year. Lopez, a fun one to watch on bars.
She has so many accolades underneath her name, and you can see why. She's got high-flying release moves, works with a sharpness on bars that's really commendable. Setting up for her dismount double layout. Oh, she was holding on so tight for that landing. Had to take that step backwards, but I mean, just dynamic bar work from her. Take a look again at this release move. Big pike Jaeger. Holding those handstands, setting up double layout. Just so close to holding on to that. Great work.
We will also have exhibition routines tonight for both teams in most of our events. And we'll begin with Nicole King. This won't count toward the team score, but great competition experience.
And something that I think that they would love to have in their lineup later on. She has a gorgeous Yurchenko layout full. Great body position in the air.
You can see as these exhibition routines take place, we're still waiting for those final scores to come in, and then the score in gray will be the dropped score. So Georgia's going to try to improve and should improve on that 9.675 from Smith, and I expect likewise Boise State will improve by maybe a 10th or so with Emily Lopez replacing the 9.75 from Noelle Ball. So there you go, Addie Wall, 9.825, and Georgia with a 49 flat on vault. Doesn't match what they did last week, 49.3 on vault in Denver, which was the 4th best vault average through the first 2 meets of the season across the NCAA. I know the coach is very excited about the way they started on vault. Fine start here tonight for Georgia.
Yeah, great start. I think that something to definitely be proud of. All the mistakes were really minor things that they can build on.
Emily Lopez will get the final score for Boise State on the other side of this break. 1 rotation in the books here at Stegman Coliseum. Back with more after this.